I don't fit in, and I've never fit in. That became my superpower, though. I've never fit in. Think back to however long ago I could think back, right? When I was young, when I was a kid, I didn't fit in. I wasn't like everybody else. I thought something was wrong with me. For the longest time, I used to think something was wrong with me because I didn't fit in with everybody else. I didn't understand what it meant to fit in. Why people wanted to fit in. I didn't get it. And I caught myself wanting to fit in as I got a little bit older, got into middle school, high school. You're pressured to want to fit in, to be in the in crowd, to be around everybody else and feel like you fit in. Why would you want to fit in? Right? Thinking back to little Zach, why would you want to fit in? Fitting in just means becoming like everybody else. But you never wanted to live a life that everybody else... You never wanted to live a life that everybody else is living. Ever. So why do you get this notion that you had to fit in? That you had to follow certain rules of society to fit in, to be like everybody else? That will be your downfall. The more you try to fit in, the less you will be yourself and the less you'll be able to find your fucking purpose in this life. The more you try to fit in, the quicker you stray to mediocrity, and you also stray away from your purpose at the same fucking time. It's congruent. Why do you want to fit in? It is incredible that you don't fit in. You have something different inside of you. Good that you don't fit in. Fuck everybody. Fuck everybody. You don't need to fit in. I wish somebody told me this shit when I was younger. You don't need to fit in at all. You need to be the best version of you. And that's it. You have to only worry about you. Stop worrying about what other people do. Stop getting FOMO, fear of missing out. What are you missing out? In high school, I would feel like sometimes, like freshman, sophomore year, because I guess I fit in more junior, senior year. I was just like, whatever, I didn't give a fuck, but I just naturally fit in, I guess. I wasn't trying to. Freshman and sophomore year, people would go to maybe a house party or an ice skating rink or some dumb shit like that, right? And they would post it on Instagram. And I would think to myself, damn, I wasn't invited. Damn, I feel like shit. And have a fear of missing out. Like, damn, they're going to be talking about it in school and I'm not going to even know, like, what's going on. You know? But I also went to a massive school. Like, our graduating class had 1,000 fucking kids in it. So, it was a little bit different, I guess, in that aspect, which was great. A lot of diversity. But I got a fear of missing out for what? You know what I mean? Because I missed out on a party? The fuck? Like, I look back on that shit now and I'm like, I mean, you're a kid, I guess, you know, you're going through shit and you think that's like the end of the line, or like that's the top. Like, oh shit, I went to a party. Oh shit, I fucked a girl. Like when you're in that like high school mentality, you're like, oh my God, I'm the man. I fucked a girl. Or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird dynamic. But you realize when you get older, that shit never mattered. That shit never mattered. All those people now, they're not doing shit with their fucking life. That was their peak. That was their peak. And there's nothing against people who went to parties in high school, shit like that. But most of the time, they'll see that as the highest version of themselves and just kind of like look back on the glory days and reflect on that and not understand that, you know, they need to progress still and move forward in life, you know? So it leads them to a life of mediocrity in the end. If you never went to those parties, if you just kind of did your own thing all the time, you got used to being with yourself. You got used to being alone. It's okay to be alone. You learn a lot about yourself when you're alone. You learn a lot about yourself when you are alone, right? Also, as you get older, all right, 18, graduate high school, now you get into college and all this shit. And you realize, okay, for me personally, I was at a point where I could kind of like, I could fuck around with bitches now. Like, I look good enough, I this, that. I feel confident enough. I have a good amount of money. Like, I feel good enough to, you know, talk to women, fuck around with girls, and go to parties if I want to, right? And in college, I went to one party ever. And I didn't drink at that party because I'm not tempted to do what everybody else is doing. If I want to drink, I could. But I didn't want to. So I didn't drink at that fucking party, right? And I just see everybody around getting sloppy drunk. And if you go to a party and you don't drink, and there's a bunch of drunk people around you, you're like, yo, you're over that shit. Like, you know if you know. Like, if you ever been a designated driver or some shit, that shit is just like, yeah. And I was like, all this time, right? I went to a couple of parties in high school, but this was like my last party experience where I was like, yeah, what the fuck? What am I doing here? What is the point of this? Like, actually, what is the point of this? I don't understand it. I'm here because I'm here to look a certain way. I'm here to look like I'm supposed to be here. I'm not actually here because I want to be here. I thought I wanted to be here, but now that I'm here, I don't want to be here. Same idea with women. Once you're able to obtain like certain kinds of women and shit like that, you realize it's not all about just fucking bitches. It's really not. Same thing I know is going to happen when I touch a lot of fucking money. In the moment, even right now, it feels like everything, it's all about money. But then once you get to a certain point and have that money and be able to obtain that money at any point, you realize, hey, it's not all about money. Right? So, in essence, don't try to fit in. You have to be the best version of you, and that's it. You have to always be working on you, and that's it. If you try to fit in all the time, it's going to lead you to a life of mediocrity. It's going to lead you astray. If you chase that high of women or parties or drugs, all those things will lead you astray. But if you put all that energy into working on yourself, that will lead you to greatness. That is the only thing that will lead you to greatness in the end. And also, it's a more fulfilling life. You will feel true happiness if you're making ample progress all the fucking time in your life as a man. That is the only, you're not going to have these highs and lows, because the higher the high, the lower the low, right? The progress, it'll make you consistently feel high. You're going to feel great all the fucking time. But yeah, that's really it. I love y'all. Don't try to fit in. Be the best version of you. Peace.